In this video, we will learn how to draw a cumulative frequency curve and how to find the median, lower quartile and the upper quartile using a cumulative frequency curve. In a survey, 200 shoppers were asked how much they had just spent in a supermarket. The results are shown in the table. So this table shows you the amount spent in dollars and the number of shoppers that each amount has spent. First question is to make a cumulative frequency table for these 200 shoppers and then to draw a diagram to find the median amount, upper quartile, interquartile range and how many shoppers spent at least $75. Now let's first prepare the cumulative frequency column. What you mean by the word cumulative frequency is you are going to add the frequencies. When preparing the cumulative frequency column, the first value is 10, the same frequency. The next frequency is where 32 you add it to 10, it's 42. Next value is 48, 32 and this 10 together it's 90. Nextly 54, 48, 32 and this 10 together it creates 144 and you add this 36 you will get 180, you add this 20 you will get 200. When you mark the points in the cumulative frequency curve, the first point is to mark is the lower bound here of the first class interval. At 0, the cumulative frequency is also 0. Nextly, less than 20, the frequency is 10. So you can see in my separate table, at 20, I will be marking 10. Nextly, at 40, I have to mark 42. So, less than 40, you have 42 shoppers. Less than 40, you have this 32 and this 10 together, 42 shoppers. So, less than $60, those who have spent less than $60, that is 90 shoppers, which 48, 32 and this 10 is added. Likewise, less than $80, which I have marked separately here. Less than 80, you have 144 shoppers. Less than $100, there is 180 shoppers. And less than $140, there's 200 shoppers. Now, let's mark these points. And the x-axis is the dollars spent. That is 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120 and $140. And this is the y-axis which represents the cumulative frequencies that leads from 0 to 100. Now let's mark the points. At 0 it should be 0. At 20 I have marked 10. Then at 40, it's 42. At 60, I have marked 0.90. At 80, the cumulative frequency is 144. And at $100, the cumulative frequency is 180. And At $140, the cumulative frequency is 200. Now joining these points, you can draw the cumulative frequency curve. When you join these points together, freehand, not using a ruler, this is called as the cumulative frequency curve. Now we are going to find the median of this data. Median means the middle value. How do you find the median? That you have to take half of data. Half of means to multiply. Data means you can remember that there were 200 data points, 200 shoppers. So half of 200 means 100th value. How can we use the curve to find the 100th value? You go to cumulative frequency and you join the 100th point into the curve, and this point, this particular reading is the 100th value of the data. We also call the median as Q2, and the median amount is $65. The median amount is $65. Nextly, we are going to find the 1/4 of data. The 1/4 of means multiplying. Data considered to be 200 data points. So Q1, which is the lower quartile, is the 50th value. Is the 50th value. We can use the graph to find the 50th value. And also we can find the upper quartile, which we call as Q3, that is 3/4 of data. 3/4 multiplied by total 200 data points, which is the 150th value. Consider Q1 is 1/4 of data points. Q3 is 3/4 of data point. We can find the lower quartile and the upper quartile using the graph. Looking at the graph, joining the 50th point to the curve, we will get the reading Q1, which is $45, and also the 150th value, which is the upper quartile. We can take the reading as $85. Such, we can use the cumulative frequency curve to find the lower quartile and the upper quartile, which the lower quartile is 1/4 of total data. According to this sum, it is 200 data points, which is the 50th reading 45. Upper quartile is 150th reading, which is 3/4 of total data, that is 3/4 of 200, which is $85. Next, we are finding the interquartile range, which interquartile range is Q3 value subtract Q1 value. Q3 value is 85, such Q1 value is 45. When 45 is subtracted from 85, it is 40. So the interquartile range is 40. Looking at the curve, this is the lower quartile, which you denotes as Q1, and this is the upper quartile that you denote as Q3. And the difference between the lower quartile and the upper quartile, we call it as the interquartile range. Such 85 minus 45, upper quartile 85 minus the lower quartile 45, that is 40. That is 40. Next, we are going to find how many shoppers have spent at least $75. At least $75 means minimum $25 or more. Such we can see this 130 shoppers have spent minimum $75. Such all the shoppers above this point starting from $75 and above, all the shoppers have spent more than $75. All the shoppers above this point $75 have spent more than $75. So you can clearly see altogether there are 200 shoppers. 200 minus 130 shoppers who have spent a minimum amount of $75, which is 70. Such all these 70 people, which 200 minus 130, have spent more than $75. With this, the question concludes, and this is how you draw a cumulative frequency curve, and use a cumulative frequency curve to find quartile, which is Q1, median, which is Q2, upper quartile, which is Q3, interquartile range, Q3 value minus Q1 value.